Peace. What's good, y'all? It's your brother God Science. I'm up in here once again. A special shout out and a salute to the few that do watch the videos and subscribe. I really appreciate y'all. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I know in the land of YouTube, that might not be a lot, but to me it is. 1,000 people listening to me. Shit. I really appreciate it. So I want to give a special shout out and salute to the few that do watch the videos. And if you want to support my channel, I'll leave my Cash App. I'm not begging. If you don't want to leave money, $1 or anything like that, subscribe to the channel or like the video. There's other ways you can, help out a brother doing his, my platform. But anyway, in this video, I want to talk about the upcoming, interview that Sinetta has. Brother Sinetta, shout out to Brother Sinetta for doing this interview with Brother Eric Muhammad. Now, I've been watching Brother Eric Muhammad for a long time. Back when it was like 2 people in his in the classroom, and a lot of people used to make fun of him because it wasn't a lot of people in there, but I loved his spirit. Now, lately we've seen a lot of people going back and forth with the Nation of Islam. Yambra Louis Farrakhan, calling him a sellout, dealing with Scientology, using certain things in Scientology and blah, blah, blah. We could go on and on. I just want to give my take on it. Now, as y'all know, y'all should know. And if you don't know, I came through the Nation of Gods and Earths, which is built on the foundation of the lessons of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Master Fard Muhammad. Now, Father Allah, what he did was build on top of that. He took the lessons, went to the streets, to the kids. He built upon that with the supreme mathematics, the supreme alphabets. And that was my first, knowledge of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, I won't say that. I mean, when it came to Malcolm X, I read I remember my uncle bought me that book, the autobiography of Malcolm X, and he forced me to read that book. And I was amazed. I mean, nobody can deny the first time they heard Malcolm X, they was like, who the hell is this dude? And why the hell is he speaking like that? And why the fuck isn't he scared? And that's one of the main things that attracted me to the Nation of Islam was these brothers wasn't scared. They were very disciplined, military trained, and I just looked up to them because I felt like, for me personally, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people get up here on YouTube and act like they're master teachers and they do everything perfect. And no, I lack a lot of discipline in certain areas, especially when it comes to foods and things like that. I lack that discipline, even though I continue to strive to build that discipline. But the Nation of Islam, these brothers had that discipline. All right, whether they're out there with their bean pies or selling their papers and the bean pies. I mean, I love fucking bean pies. But anyway, when I first listened to Eric Muhammad is when I really understood that there was a split in the Nation of Islam. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I agree with everything this brother says, but I do get some of his points. Now, I know Sinetta might be getting a lot of heat from, the followers of Louis Farrakhan, what the other side of Nation of Islam, because a lot of people don't like Brother Eric Muhammad. He speaks his mind. He's very funny. I mean, he has me cracking up every time I watch him on Sundays, but he speaks his mind. He reminds me something of Khaled, that mentality level. I don't give a fuck. That mentality of the old school Muslims that will fuck you up if you came and mess with them. They don't mess with anybody. The Muslims are very peaceful. They don't even pack guns. They wasn't even supposed to pack guns. Elijah Muhammad had them very peaceful. But if you came and fuck with one Muslim, that will be you will learn a hard ass lesson from that. And a lot of people can attest to what I'm saying. They didn't play that shit, and a lot of them still don't play that shit. You don't want to go up against them FOI brothers. Now, the split, one of the things that I really get from Eric Muhammad is that he doesn't believe that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has an assessor. Now, I have a lot of books by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm not gonna front, I'm not gonna be biased, but I do have a soft spot for the Nation of Islam. Why? Just like how I have a little soft spot for the Bible, even though a lot of shit in the Bible it's not meant to be literal. I grew up in it. You know, my whole family was Christians, just like a lot of y'all. You know, we were forced to go to church. You could get up in the morning and make all the damn lies you want. I don't feel good, Mom. I don't got shit to wear. Your ass is going to church. So that was ingrained in me. So I have a little soft spot. I still read some of the Psalms today, but the first thing that got me out of Christianity or the Bible is when I first heard the words of Malcolm X and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I was like, who is these dudes? And the things that we're teaching, I never heard before. The funny thing about it, everybody might have their different, experiences when it came to interacting with the Nation of Islam back then. But for some reason, when they talked about, say, for instance, Yaqub, it felt like I heard this before. It was weird. I know it sounds weird, but I never did. But it always felt so fucking familiar. So I rolled with it. And that's when I came into the Nation of Gods and Earths. And the Nation of Gods and Earth brothers was just like the Nation of Islam brothers. They were the cool dudes. The dudes that were standing at the after school with their hands folded, and you ask them a question and they start speaking this science and breaking it down, and they speak in a whole different language that you don't know what the hell they're talking about, and it was just like, well, who's these brothers, man? And I was always interested into science and knowledge. So when I bumped into the Nation Gods and Earths, I was like, yo, this is it. But the more I studied, the more I seen that the two was a lot the same when it came to the lessons. Now, a lot of people don't like the Honorable, Eric Muhammad, because he goes against the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. And the main reason why I want to see this interview with Sa-Neter doing this interview with Eric Muhammad, I believe he should have a voice to be heard. Like I said, I've been watching him way before he came on Sa-Neter platform, and I think it's cool that Sa-Neter is giving him a platform. And I know he might get a lot of heat for it, so I give Sa-Neter a lot of respect for bringing him and talking about it. He was very close to Khalid Muhammad, and I always wondered what the fuck happened between Khalid Muhammad and Louis Farrakhan. Now, if you look at it, Khalid Muhammad was very militant. He didn't take no shit. And that speech that he had at that college, I can't remember the name of the college, but we all know the speech that got him banned from the Nation of Islam. And to a certain point, they felt that Louis Farrakhan was getting a little soft, and Khalid Muhammad was going at it. But if you watch the videos that Elijah Muhammad has, if you go on YouTube or any other platform and look at the videos that Elijah Muhammad had, he didn't speak in a real, he didn't curse at all, put it like that. And he didn't, I won't say he wasn't militant, but not as militant, I would say, as Khalid Muhammad, which not saying there's anything wrong with that. But Elijah Muhammad came in a very quiet, peaceful voice, but what he was spitting out his mouth was just straight fire, and it was very dangerous, because dangerous to who, because he was waking up a lot of people's minds. He felt like he didn't have to scream, he didn't have to yell, and then he had his the other Malcolm X to his side. And Malcolm X, when people heard Malcolm X spoke, it was like, this man is, a lot of people, back then, it's way before my time, it's way before my time. Like a lot of people, young Pharaoh, that's basically out here talking like they've been running with Malcolm X when he was alive. We know what's been left behind, which are videos, documents. None of us really know what happened, but I really would like to know what happened between Khalid Muhammad. I know certain things, but I've heard of after a ride, Khalid Muhammad reaching out to Honorable Elijah Louis Farrakhan, and he never reached back to him, took his security away from him. And I just wanted to know why these two brothers couldn't sit down and, because there's certain videos that I've seen of Khalid Muhammad still showing respect to Louis Farrakhan, calling him his spiritual father, which a lot of people disagree with, because this is the big thing. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad did say after him there was no one else. But then at the same time, you have people that follow Louis Farrakhan and say, Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, when you see him, follow him. What he tells you, do. Which basically means, means to them, follow him. But I get the both sides, because at the same time that, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did say that he was the only one, and after him, there was no one coming, no one left, no one had to come. If it wasn't for Louis Farrakhan, especially in the early 70s, I would say the 80s, a lot of people wouldn't even know who the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his teaching was. And that was basically due to his son. And y'all know who I'm talking about. The one that basically destroyed what he built. That's the motherfucker that everybody should be going after. But that's a whole different video. The point is, I think Farrakhan played a part in raising a lot of people. I mean, Brother Eric Muhammad even admit that he was a follower of Louis Farrakhan at a point in time. But they felt like he started to change and he was going a little soft. And if I'm right, the story goes that they forbidden Eric Muhammad to even contact or be in contact with Khalid Muhammad. And he was like, he's not going to do that. And then he left the Nation of Islam. So now you have this split. But I'm definitely excited to see this interview done by Sonetta, because it needs to be talked about. It's a lot of emotions behind it. A lot of people, there were some people on one side that he's full of shit. There's other people on the other side that, he's full of shit. But it just shows you that, the divide between, it's hard for me I don't agree, like I said in other videos, with everything that the Honorable Elijah Farrakhan does. I don't agree with every move he makes, but it's hard for me to get on my platform and call him names and just disrespect him for the work that he's put in. He is responsible. I mean, I'm a hip hop head. Hip hop was one of the greatest things that I ever heard growing up in New York. Growing up in Brooklyn, it was impossible not to be touched by hip hop. And in those early times, you would hear Farrakhan all through those records, whether it was Queen Latifah sampling him, Public Enemy sampling, Brand Nubian sampling him. Everybody was sampling Farrakhan because his voice was so powerful then. So at the same time, people say, Elijah Muhammad is the last leader. Even though he's not here, he's still the leader. If it wasn't for Farrakhan, a lot of people wouldn't hear that message. Y'all get what I'm saying? Now, the Nation of Gods and Earth is a whole different thing, but I think he has his place. But I don't want to keep this video too long. I'm definitely waiting. Sonetta, please stop teasing us with this and drop this interview. I want to see it. I mean, I have to say this will be one of the best interviews that he's dropped in a long time this year. And I hope that he follows through with it, because I know he's going to catch heat from it. Because like I said, a lot of people, he's considered the most controversial Muslim there is. And if you watch, You know, he has like service. I think it's in Atlanta, service every Sunday, and you watch him, you're gonna be on the floor cracking up. But he spits that real. He's one of those old school Elijah Muhammad followers that don't take shit. And I just gotta respect that because I have a soft spot for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for what he did. Y'all could make fun of him, y'all could call him a pedophile, y'all could make fun of Farid Muhammad and call him a white Jew and all of this bullshit, but y'all cannot stand here and tell me those lessons, those things that they bought did not raise the black community up to a certain level. Why the fuck you think that the government had to infiltrate that shit or try to stop it? Because they saw that people started, coming off the streets, stopped doing drugs, started staying with their families. And that's the main thing. When the black family is together, that's a problem for them. They have to destroy the black family. And the Nation of Islam was bringing the black family together, even teaching the women, MGT and GCC, how to take care of their homes, how to teach the kids. These were things that's very useful, even though you might disagree with the ideology. Those things are very useful. You know, the FOI training, the military training, and some of the things was like, I'm not gonna front. It was like, man, I remember when I first bought How to Eat to Live, the book 1 and 2, and I'm reading this, and I'm like, man, come on, man. I'm a praise Allah. I'm all you do this, but you trying to tell me I can't eat Popeyes no more, man? Huh? I can't eat Popeyes no more. On Christmas, I can't eat piece of ham. Come on, Elijah Muhammad, man. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna sit up here in front like y'all. A lot of these things are not good to eat. I agree with it, but why the hell does it taste so goddamn good? You know, and it's like what all the good things, all the things that you're not supposed to eat taste good as hell. And I guess that's just the Negro in us growing up eating, hog mogs and all that. Well, I didn't eat that because I'm from a West Indian background, but we did eat pork, but we had like mostly curry and things like that. But then on Sundays they will eat pork. They'll even cut up the pork tails and put it in something called callaloo. I don't know if y'all know what that is. And then on Christmas they'll make a ham with homemade bread and all this shit. So I grew up doing that. So you start reading these things and you can't eat this. You gotta eat bean soup and I'm not gonna fucking lie here. I have watched Muslims that stick 100% to Elijah Muhammad's teachings. Whether we could go in a debate with Dr. Sebi saying not to drink milk and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad saying the best foods was milk, navy beans, and bread. Yeah, that's a whole different video. The point is, I've seen Muslims that followed his program. They're like fucking 50, 60, and they look like fucking 40 years old. For instance, look at Ali Muhammad. This brother is going close to in his 50s, and he looked like he's in his fucking early 30s. So it has to be some truth into some of these things, Look at Farrakhan. I mean, Farrakhan is very old, but for his age, he looks pretty damn good. Is he following How to Eat to Live? So at the same time, with this back and forth between Dr. Sebi with Polite and Elijah Muhammad, you can't sit here and tell me that what he was teaching and How to Eat to Live was bullshit, because I've seen it I've seen it from my face. I did one thing, eat one meal a day, and I saw a change in that shit. So to me, this is just my personal views. It's not bullshit. But I'm gonna end the video here. What you guys think about brother Eric Muhammad? I like this brother. Like I say, he's very funny. And I damn sure want to see this video, this interview by Sa Neter. I think it's way overdue. A lot of people might not know about Eric Muhammad, but I definitely think his voice should be heard and we should hear what he has to say. Not saying that you have to agree with everything, but I think his voice should be heard. And if Sa Neter is a platform that welcomes every school of thought, any person that, we can't say like, well, okay, now we don't want him on here, but you could put him on here. So shout outs to Sonetta for doing this, this interview. This is what I'm talking about. This is one of the reasons why I fell in love with Sonetta TV. When he does these interviews and have discussions that people don't want to have, and he damn sure needs. And I'm waiting for Eric Muhammad to check these motherfuckers out here that's speaking ill of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, like I said, you don't have to agree with what he taught. You don't have to agree with anything. But the name calling and the disrespect that I hear, I can't front. It pisses me the fuck off, because that man was trying to save y'all dumb asses. And even to this day, people still don't even want to hear it. And I just leave y'all with one question. The program that Honorable Elijah Muhammad, backed by Master Fard Muhammad, left, if all black people followed that to a T, if we all follow it, I'm not saying 90% or 80%, 100%, if we all follow that, even though it's a struggle, especially how we grew up and we were taught to eat the wrong foods, and mentally and physically, that's in our lessons. So it's hard to break out of it. But if we do follow everything that he left, are you trying to tell me that we will be worse off that we are now, or will we be better off? Answer me that question. Leave it in the comment, and let me know what you think about, the How to Eat to Live, the Message to the Black Man, because these books, even though, we're in the information age and there's a lot of new information out there and there's so much more information, this Nation of Islam, I believe, came at the right time. Personally, to me, it was a stepping stone. I try to explain it like black people were asleep. They were in a bed asleep. And Honorable Elijah Muhammad was someone that took a bat, not to kill you, but just hit it upside your head and wake you up. And from being woke up, then you went on to your spiritual journey. You might be studying something else now, but who the fuck woke you up? I think he deserves some respect for that. So let me know what y'all think about this interview. I'm damn sure gonna be watching it, and peace, y'all. Thank you guys for watching once again. Like I said, you want to support the channel. The Cash App is $, $7. You don't want to do that, like the video. You don't want to like the video, subscribe to the channel. You might not even watch another video of mine anyway, so it doesn't hurt to just subscribe. But niggas, they don't want you to, if they not shit, they're not gonna make you become shit. But you know how that is. But and if you don't like the video and you would dislike it, do that too. Just do something. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm out. I'll be up with the next one. Once again, peace.